What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with you on this Friday, April the 26th, also known as day 2 of the NFL draft. Still running on just pure adrenaline after last night. Had an absolute blast at the draft party. So cool to meet and talk to so many people who watch and support us. It means the absolute world, and excited to get back on the mic again later today for night 2, as it is round 2 and round 3 in the NFL draft. And what I wanted to do today was give you a little bit of a primer before we get on with the live stream. So in case you're under a rock, talking Jets, we streamed last night for round 1. We're doing the same thing again for day 2 and day 3 tomorrow. So make sure to tune in over there later. But some really talented players are still on the board, not only for the New York Jets, but just in general. Here's some names who are still on the board at the start of round 2 today. Cooper DeJean, Jerzani Newton, A.D. Mitchell, Ladd McConkey. Those are some of the top names who are available, as the Buffalo Bills, who traded down twice, are set to get us started at pick number 33, and then New England Patriots. Honestly, you feel like both of those teams probably targeting a wide receiver, and that's where I would anticipate the New York Jets going today. They go offensive line in round 1, and I would fully expect the New York Jets to be targeting a weapon, more likely a wide receiver, on day 2 of the NFL draft, and they're going to have a ton of names to pick from. So here's a look at ESPN's top remaining wide receivers, and there's legitimately 12 names who I think are probably going today. A.D. Mitchell, Ladd McConkey, Keon Coleman, Polk, McMillan, the 2 Washington guys outside of Rome Odunze, Troy Franklin, Brendan Rice, Roman Wilson, Baker, Walker, Malachi Corley, and Malik Washington. Now, as I just said, there are 12 receivers that I just listed off who I am comfortable with going today in round number 2 and 3. But if I'm the New York Jets, how do you not trade up? With what they did yesterday, right? Sliding from pick 10 to pick 11, you pick up an additional 4th round pick, you pick up a 5th round pick, and now you're sitting today, you only have pick 72. And in that pick 72 range, the names, there's 4 that I think are probably the most likely in that spot. Corley, Washington, Baker, and Walker would be the 4 names that I would say watch if the Jets did stick and pick at 72. But how do you not trade up? Do the Jets really need to take 3 players in the 4th round this year? No. This is a quality over quantity draft for the New York Jets. You don't need the Idzik 12. Remember that when the Jets had a billion picks and they just stuck in pick because the roster stunk? That's not where they are. The Jets roster does not stink. They need to add supplemental talent. They did that on night 1 with adding Olu Fashanu, who is going to play at some point this year because their 2 tackles are 33 years old and not under contract next year, number 1, but also have major injury concern. And again, they need a weapon. No one who is saying that they needed offensive line, or no one who is saying that they were happy about the pick yesterday, is saying, oh, well, you just go the rest of the draft. You don't worry about adding another wide receiver weapon. No. I am telling you, as someone who was happy that the Jets moved back, got more capital, and took an offensive lineman yesterday, that they now have to be aggressive and package picks to get higher, specifically into the 2nd round. Now, just for a frame of reference, Draft Tech value chart, if the Jets were to trade their 3rd round pick, which is 72, and 2 of their 4th round picks, we'll go with the 2 higher ones and pick 111 and 129, that package should roughly get you up to around pick number 56 in the 2nd round. But what my pitch to you would be what if they traded a 2nd round pick next year? The Jets are not in a spot where they are hugging picks and prospects and all that stuff. They could be aggressive. So if they want to get themselves into the 2nd round this year, is there a rebuilding team that you could target who would potentially maybe be looking to move out of the 2nd round for a future 2nd round pick in 2025 and either a 3rd, some of your 4ths, whatever it is, to get into that spot? I think that's possible, and I think it's something the Jets should consider. again, they're going for it in this window. Getting someone for this year is more important than getting someone in 2025 who would be a rookie in that second year of what this likely 2-year window with Aaron Rodgers looks like. So a team that I discussed with Anthony Rivardo on Big Apple Blitz earlier today, the New York Giants. The Giants are picking at 47. They don't have a ton of picks in this year's draft. They didn't get a quarterback in round 1, so likely are going to need a quarterback next year. Would they be looking for more ammo in 2025 and be okay with moving back to, let's say, I don't know, maybe it's 72 and you give up a pick next year or whatever, and that's enough to get you into the second round this year. Now, for me, just looking at wide receivers before I talk about other positions, because we have to talk about it, there's a chance they go other positions. Like, I would say Mitchell, McConkey, those are probably the two that I think are very likely to come off the board like immediately. And I don't know if the Jets are going to be able to trade up that high, but my kind of favorite names for the Jets as trade up targets, Roman Wilson is someone I talked about a lot. Slot receiver, I think Roman Wilson, Garrett Wilson, and Mike Williams would be a really nice trio. Troy Franklin is also a name that I really like a lot. Either of the two Washington receivers in Polk or McMillan are names to watch. And I like Malachi Corley and I like Malik Washington, but I don't think you need to trade up to the second round for those guys. I think that is like stick and pick at 72 range. And I would prefer specifically Franklin or Roman Wilson over those two guys. So while Mitchell and McConkey, I think, are a tier above some of the remaining guys, I think your most likely range is the whatever order you have them in, Polk, McMillan, Franklin, Roman Wilson range, somewhere in that. And my preference would be Roman Wilson. I also like Troy Franklin, though, and the rest of that crop. Now, we do have to mention it, other positions. I think if the Jets were to go a different route, I don't think they're going back-to-back offensive line, so I'll cross that one off the list. I'll give you 2 spots on defense that I talked a lot about so far this week and just in general in the draft process. Interior defensive line and safety are 2 spots I could see the Jets going today. Interior defensive line, names to watch, Dwayne Carter, Mekhi Wingo, Mason Smith. Mason Smith they've met with already. And at safety, Cameron Kitchens, Cole Bishops, and Jaden Hicks are names that I would keep an eye on today. Moral of the story, as expected, there were some surprises on night 1. My guy, Ricky Pearsall, who I talked about a lot as a second round, trade up target or a second round target for the Jets, he goes off the board at 31, but there's a lot of talent on the top of this board. So I think Joe Douglas, it's going to be time for him to get aggressive and trade up here. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What would you like to see from the New York Jets today? Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. I'll catch you guys next time.